Hi Vikings, it's Mrs. Running. Today in guidance we are going to talk about how to be safe around people we don't know. People we don't know are called strangers. Friends, I want you to remember that most people in our world are nice and kind and helpful, but not everybody is, which is why we talk about how to be safe around strangers, because you can't tell if someone is kind just by looking at them. So today's story is called Not Everyone is Nice. My name is Kathy. I live with my mom and dad and my little brother Eric. He is only 2 years old. We also have a cat. His name is Spoons. We gave him that name because he has a black spot on his back shaped just like a spoon. I'm in kindergarten. My teacher's name is Mrs. Roberts. She is very nice. She reads us stories and teaches us all sorts of things like science and nature. She also lets us bring in things to share with the class on show and tell days. Some days, my mommy picks me up from school. Other days, I go home with Grandma, and sometimes I go home with a friend. I wait on the corner near the crossing guard for my ride home. I always know in the morning who's coming to get me at the end of the school day. Mommy and Daddy always tell me never to go home with anyone else or to get into a car with someone who does not have permission for them to take me home. So friends, Kathy is right here, and the crossing guard is right here. So if she did need help, this is who she should go to, because this person, it's their job to help you. And they have a uniform on, they have the stop sign. So if she needed help from a grown-up right now and she didn't see any grown-ups that she knows, this is the safest person for her to go to. It sounds like she always knows how she's going to get home at the end of the day. So whether it's mom picking her up or grandma, and sometimes it sounds like she goes home with a friend, but she always knows at the beginning of the day how she's going to get home. And it sounds like her parents, she lives with her mom and dad, it sounds like they've talked with her too about you don't go with people that you don't know. So she's talked with them a little bit about strangers and that we don't go with people that are strangers because we don't know them. Another thing that I'd like to point out is that if for some reason she forgot during the middle of the school day how she was supposed to get home, she should talk with her teacher, right? If you were ever at school and you weren't sure how to get home or who was coming to pick you up, your best bet would be to talk to your teacher and say, I'm not sure how I'm getting home today, because your teacher can help figure that out and get you the answer that you need. The person who's going to pick me up sometimes is a little late. When that happens, I'm supposed to wait by the door of the school. If the person doesn't come soon, then I'm supposed to go back inside and tell my teacher that my ride did not come. This only happens when my mom has to work late or there's a mix-up. I just play in my classroom until mommy comes to get me. So she knows that if my mom is running late or there's a mix-up, I just kind of go back into the school and I wait for the grown-up to come and get me. She has a really good plan. One day, I was waiting by the curb for my mom to pick me up after school, and she was late. I was about to go inside the school to wait when a car stopped in front of me. The man inside the car rolled down the window. Friends, I want to point something out right now to you. She's standing very close to that car. So remember, when we are around people we don't know very well, we should have a really big comfort bubble. Our invisible bubble should be really, really big. So she is too close to him. If he can touch her, that's too close. And my guess is that if he were to put his arm out the window of the car, he would be able to touch her. She's too close to him. When we're around people we don't know, especially if we're by ourselves, we want to have a big, wide comfort bubble. The man driving the car was wearing a funny green wool hat with a pom-pom on top. He also had a matching green sweater, and he looked like he was a nice person. "Is everything okay?" he asked. "You look lonely or lost." "I am not lost or lonely," I told him. "I'm just waiting for my mom to come get me and take me home." Friends, I want to point out right here that she doesn't even need to talk to him. She doesn't know him. So it would be okay even if he was talking to her, if she just turned and went back into the school building. We do not need to talk to people that we don't know. She also mentioned he looks nice. Remember, we can't tell if somebody is nice just by looking at them. "Where do you live?" the nice man asked. "On Grant Street," I told him. "Well, that's funny," he laughed. "I live on Grant Street too." I didn't think it was funny, but he smiled and laughed, so I laughed too. "What's your name?" the man asked me. "My name is Kathy," I said. "Well, hi, Kathy. You can call me Mr. Green," he said politely. Friends, the chances that he lives on the same exact street in her as she does, teeny tiny small, right? My guess is he's saying that to trick her because she might think, "Oh, he lives on the same street as me. He could give me a ride home. He knows exactly where I live. He's a neighbor of mine." We don't go with people we don't know, and this could be a trick. Another thing I want to point out is we still have that crossing guard close by. This would be a great time for her to walk over to that crossing guard and say, "My mom isn't here. Can you help me?" "I'm going home right now. Why don't you hop in and I'll give you a ride? I bet you know the way. You seem very smart," he said with a smile. "I can't ride with you, Mr. Green. My mom told me to wait for her here." "Well, I'd be happy to bring you home to your mom. She's probably worried about you. Maybe she's late because she's hurt or sick and couldn't come to get you. We should hurry," he said. I was worried now. What if Mr. Green was right? Maybe my mom was hurt or sick. Friends, this is another trick that he's trying to use because now she might be thinking, "Oh, my mom is running late because she's hurt, so I should go with him because he can get me to my mom." Friends, if your grown-ups are hurt or sick or running late and can't get there to pick you up, they would never send somebody that you don't know to come and get you. That doesn't make any sense at all. They're going to send somebody you know really, really well. Like, for example, if I can't pick up my children, I would have their grandparents go and pick them up, or their aunt and uncle, someone they know really, really well and is a safe person. I would never send a friend of mine that my children don't know or haven't met. Even though that person's safe, my kids don't know them. They shouldn't go with someone they don't know. "Look," Mr. Green said, "I have some chocolate. I bought it for my little girl. She's about the same age as you. You can have some. Her name is Lisa. Do you know her?" "No, I don't know anyone named Lisa." The man reached out the window to hand me the small chocolate bar. Friends, we don't take gifts or candy or money from people we don't know unless we're with a grown-up that we do know. A good example of this is if your family celebrates Halloween. On Halloween, you might go to a stranger's house and say trick or treat, and they give you candy. And this is okay because you're with a grown-up that you know and feel safe with. I always go trick-or-treating with my children. It's one of our favorite things to do as a family, and we go to strangers' houses and we get candy from them. That's okay because I'm with my children, and before we eat any of that candy, we go through all of it to make sure that it hasn't been opened or isn't yucky or anything like that. This sometimes is a trick, right? He's saying, "Here, you can have this chocolate bar," trying to get Kathy to get into the car with him. So this is another trick strangers might use to try to get a kid to go with them. Again, we don't take things from people we don't know. He also mentioned he has a daughter named Lisa. That could be true, but that could also be a lie. We don't know. My guess is that he's telling her a lie and saying I have a daughter named Lisa in hopes that Kathy knows a girl named Lisa. And then she's like, oh, you're Lisa's dad. You're safe. I can go with you. Again, this is a trick, and we don't go with strangers. I leaned forward to take the candy, but before I could, I felt a hand on my shoulder pulling me back. I turned around, and it was my mom. She looked upset. Who are you? She asked the man. That's Mr. Green, I said. The man didn't say anything. He just drove away very fast. The chocolate bar fell to the ground. Why did the nice man drive away so fast? I asked my mom. He's not a nice man, Kathy, my mom said. She promised we would talk about it later at home. Then we went to the police station. My mom reported that a stranger talked to me. The police officer wrote a lot of stuff down and told my mom they would look into it. When she finished talking with the police officer, Mom gave me a big hug, and we went home. Later that night, after Eric went to sleep, my mom and Dad came into my room. Dad had a big book about the ocean with him. Mom told me about the man in the car today, my dad said, and we both want to talk to you about what happened. The man looked nice, I said. He had a funny hat and a chocolate bar and a little girl the same age as me. Kathy, my dad said, sometimes things and people are not what they seem. Some people aren't nice at all. Even though they seem nice, they might try to hurt you. Maybe this book will help you understand. He opened the book to the picture of a yellow and red underwater plant. You could tell it was underwater because there were fish swimming around it. What a pretty plant, I said. My dad shook his head. It's an animal called the sea anemone, and it fools fish by looking like a plant so they won't be afraid to come near it. Then, when the fish get close, the sea anemone eat them up for dinner. My mom took the book and turned to another picture. It showed a beautiful fish. This is called a lionfish. It looks a little like a lion, and it can be ferocious and dangerous. This fish's pretty fins are full of poison that if another fish gets too close to them, it can sting that fish and eat them for dinner. Kathy, my dad said, even in nature, you can't tell if something is safe just by looking at it. And the same is true for people. Some people may look very nice and act kindly, but that might be to fool you. Some of them might try to hurt you. Like the sea anemone tries to fool the fish, I asked. Yes, just like that, my dad said. My mom said people may seem nice or look handsome or pretty, but they can be dangerous like the lionfish, so you have to be very careful. Strangers may seem nice or say nice things, but that doesn't mean they are nice people. You should only go places and accept gifts from people you know very well, like your family, your close friends. Remember, Kathy, my dad said, you can never be sure if a person is really nice just by looking at them or talking to them. Well, what should I do if I meet another stranger who seems really nice? Well, my dad said, if a stranger tries to get you to go somewhere with him, just quickly walk away and ask a grown-up you know for help. Like my teacher? Yes, Kathy, that's a great idea. The grown-up will know what to do and will be able to tell if the stranger is nice or if it's a lionfish in disguise. I never saw the man in the car again. If I do see him again, or if someone else I don't know tries to take me places or give me things, I'll remember what my mom and dad told me about the sea anemone and the lionfish. I will walk away and ask a grown-up I know for help. It makes me a little sad that not everyone is nice, but I do know lots of people who are really nice, and that makes me feel happy. Friends, please talk with the grown-ups at your house about the different ways to be safe around people you don't know. Please remember most people in the world are kind and friendly and helpful, but we talk about this because not everybody is. Have a great day, and I will see you next week for Guidance Friends.